Hello and welcome to week one of Computer Science 26, Discrete Mathematics. I am your instructor, Brian Baker, and what can I say? This is one of my weekly videos that I like to do for online classes. Low production value, kind of just slapping it together, just to give you the information that you need for the week without having to pull out, all the SLR and fancy lights and stuff. And actually, I'm trying to save as much time as I can in my workflows because this is a brand new class for me. I've got other classes that I've never taught online, so I need to create a ton of materials, which means, at this point, my job is just video production. But what I want to say is there should be another video that you should expect about midweek because I am a little bit behind. Just sort of a demo video telling you how to kind of do it the Hello World program. Honestly, you may not need it, but we'll get to that in a second. Point being, I'm a little bit behind, but we're working on it. This class is going to be 100% asynchronous online. All right, so we are not doing anything sort of Zoom, like we all have to be together at the same time. If you're worried about that, don't worry about it. And if we did, we'd record it anyway. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't want to see you. I just want to run it more like a traditional online course. If you are interested or have, want to connect at all, there are office hours that are held in Zoom. Those are kind of synchronous, but not required. And so if you want to come in, ask a question, you got a little, problem with something you want to talk about, feel free to drop in on any of those. Since we're talking about workflows, let's talk about sort of the flow of the week. Our weeks are going to go from Tuesday to Monday. So everything will be due usually on Monday night. Your first post and discussions is a little different, but whatever. All that's in the syllabus. But the idea here is that our weeks are going to start Tuesday morning. They will end Monday night. That way, if you have any last-minute questions, those end up happening on a weekday rather than on all of our weekends. I feel like I've ruined a lot of people's Sundays. I don't know, but we'll see over the years until I made this change. Now all my online classes end their weeks on Monday. So I want to keep you engaged in this course. There is a tendency for online courses. If it's out of sight, it gets out of mind. And so then you end up sort of not engaging, falling behind. And I don't want that to happen, especially this semester with you having so many other things going on and probably a bit of quarantine brain, just like me. And that's to be accepted. But so what we're going to do is everything needs to be due on that Monday night, right? That's the due date. If you miss the due date, there is an immediate 20% deduction for that assignment. That sounds kind of harsh until you look at my late policy and you realize that at any point in time, you can ask for a 48-hour extension. Just say, you don't need to give me an excuse. I mean, honestly, students might lie to me and tell me all sorts of terrible things. Like, I don't want to benefit people who lie. And besides which, you might have a really good reason for lying, right? It may be an incredibly personal thing. It's fine, right? You want 48 hours, you can get 48 hours. I'm not worried about it. If you need more than 48 hours, then we can talk about it if there's something serious going on. But anybody can get a 48-hour extension on any assignment, discussion, quiz, whatever. Just ask. It'll be given to you. So yeah, and there's an exception if you abuse the policy, but that's in the syllabus. I wouldn't worry about it. I don't anticipate anybody doing it, and you get warnings beforehand and stuff. So what are you going to be doing in the class? There are kind of 4 different types of activities. We'll see, I may change this. It's obviously the first time I've taught the class, so welcome beta testers. Luckily there's 10 of you. So there are going to be quizzes in this class. Now don't freak out about this because it's an online class. So these quizzes are meant to be formative assessments. This is kind of like doing the questions at the end of the chapter or something. Except that you'll be graded, right? You get 2 opportunities for every quiz. So if you completely flub the first one, you can try it again. You may not get the same questions. They are kind of randomly pulled from some questions that I've written. But anyway, they're there. And do the quizzes. That's 30% of your final grade. There's also going to be labs. We're going to be learning the Python programming language. And then using that language to talk about stuff like set operations and functional programming and a whole bunch of other stuff. I noticed that in previous semesters this class was taught with Python, kind of a specific version of it called Anaconda that also uses the R programming language to do a lot of data science stuff. And so we may go into some of that, regular expressions and then doing some sort of data science application stuff. But we'll sort of get in there as we go. But you're going to be learning a new language this semester if you don't already know Python. So don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. So labs, that's also 30% of your thing. And there's like a little lab each week, hopefully. We'll see. We're going to show a lot of grace to one another this semester, I got a feeling. Discussions. There will be discussions in this class. They will not necessarily be every week. They'll also be 30% of your grade. You happen to have one this week, but it's super easy because it's week 1. It's just an introduction, you know. But you will have some discussions in the class. Some of these are actually going to be peer reviews. So you actually will have like maybe it's one of the labs or something. You'll do a peer review of other people's work, sort of compare and contrast, see what you can learn from what other students are doing, and then you sort of reflect on that in a discussion. We'll get to it when we get to it, but it'll be fine. And then finally, there's a final exam, which is kind of like the quiz, but longer, cumulative over the entire semester, and that's going to be about 10% of your final grade. So yeah, that is the general, the types of activities you're going to be doing in this class. As far as this week, there's going to be a couple things you're going to want to do first. The first is going to be find your textbook. Now you can purchase the textbook if you want. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's about $100. The bookstore will eventually have it in stock because I think I'm required to do that. But don't buy it at the bookstore. You get free access to this textbook through our library subscription to I keep wanting to say Safari Tech Books Online. That's what it used to be called. Now it's called O'Reilly Higher Education. But regardless, you get free access. You can read it online through the library's website, actually through the O'Reilly website, but you get there through there's a whole video showing you how to do it. So just go ahead and go to that week 1 module, and there's a video of me showing you exactly how to do it. But find your textbook so you can actually start doing the readings. The other thing you're going to want to do is to install Python 3 and PyCharm. There's another video. I wanted to do that one myself, but I just found one online because it was a little bit faster and it saved some time out of my day today. And, you know, it's actually technically Monday at this point. So, hi, midnight. You came fast. But point being, Python 3 and PyCharm are, you just need to install them. And there's a video showing you how to do it. In fact, that person's video actually shows you kind of how to do the Hello World program, which if you've done a Hello World program in like another programming class, it probably doesn't get easier. I mean, maybe Swift. When I teach Swift, it's one line as well. In fact, it's an identical line to Python. But Python's Hello World program is one line. Literally, you call a print function and you send it a string that says Hello World. Yeah, he shows you how to do that, which is technically all you need for your first lab. But anyway, well, let's just get there. So what are you actually going to do this week for graded assignments? Your graded assignments this week, there are going to be 3 of them. First off, you should do the reading, chapter 1.1. We're not going to read all of chapter 1, obviously. The way he structured the book, he made chapter 1 cover a lot of big topics. So we're just doing 1.1. In fact, only the first half of 1.1 on logical expressions. After that, we will go into sort of some informal, proof strategies, and then we'll go into sets and other stuff. So for just the first half of 1.1 is the only reading you need. There is a lecture video there as well. That's me sort of talking about those same concepts. So if you prefer that, you can. I try to explain without just math, like, A implies B. I came up with some terrible analogy about cheese and midnight. Oh, which is after midnight. Dang it, if you see the lecture video, I might be having some cheese. It's fine. Wow, we have an inside joke already, and it's just week 1. But you haven't seen the lecture video yet, so whatever. You're probably going to see this one first. What was I saying? Oh, those aren't even graded assignments. Those are just part of the course content. Your graded assignments, there is a discussion. It is an introduction. Throw up a picture of yourself if you want to. I didn't put that in the requirements because it makes people feel, weird, and so I don't want to work on your insecurities. But tell us about yourself. Just, let's try and be human beings. As much as we can humanize this class, the better, especially for a math class, because that's, well, actually, there's some really great research into great math classes that are kind of more emotional based, but we don't have time to talk about that today. So yeah, lecture video. Sorry, your discussion, introductions. Then the quiz, quiz number 1, which is just, it's a really short quiz. It's like 5 questions. They may get longer as time goes on, we'll see. But for right now, it's just, based on that. You get 2 shots. They come from a pool of questions. And, it can be a little bit difficult, so don't feel bad if you don't score perfectly on this first one. But take your time. You've got all the time in the world, and you've got your resources there in front of you. So, again, it's a formative assessment. It's not meant to be a whip. And then the last one is your lab. So once you get Python and PyCharm installed, then the next step is going to be to write a program and submit it to me. Your program is going to be really simple. It has been one heck of a year. So tell me a joke. That's it. Just output a joke to the screen. Something that is preferably PG-13 or less. A little bit of dark humor this year seems perfectly acceptable. I'm okay with that. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty simple. You'll see the instructions. If you have any questions, just throw me a message on Canvas. I want to be there for you. Yeah, so if you need anything, holler. Otherwise, good luck.